Minute, folks are waiting on the treasurer. The land use. Why do they have a copy of land use? What's it for? Copy of land use, what's that for?
You, she gave us copies for each of you.
Oh.
That's the new one.
We'll start. Call the meeting to order. All rise. Pledge allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So, approve minutes. Make a motion. We accept the minutes for September 10th, 2024. Second. All in favor? Q. All payroll and OTs are covered. We're going to deviate this evening from the printed agenda. We're going to vote on setting tax rate. Bob, tax rate will be set at 1335 with an overlay of 70,009. Okay, any questions? I make a motion, we set the tax rate at 1335 with 70,009 overlay. Second. All in favor? Tax rate is set. Any questions for the assessor? No? Yeah.
Say 7,000.
70,009. Correct. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
If I could just talk for like 30 seconds.
Yep, please do. Floor is yours.
Just a little helper for the citizens. I know in the past, sometimes some of this stuff has been mystery meat, so just do a little bit of minor educational thing. So the assessor's job is to value all the property in town, and it's the town meeting and the county and the school district figure out how much money they want to soak for. So it's gonna be over $4 million this year. So the job of the assessor is to take that number and assign tax valuations according to how valuable your property is. Then we commit the whole list over to the tax collector, and the total amount is on there. And so the collector's job is to collect that total amount of dollars. So at the end of the year, whatever the collector has collected, we try to balance that up against the list that we gave her to make sure that everything is, copacetic. And then that number actually gets turned around to the treasurer, who also happens to be Lynn in this case. Mm-hmm. And the number that goes to the treasurer and the number that's from the collector has to be the same. So this is just a little procedural stuff, but it's put in place by the state to make sure that nobody's lying in their pockets or anything like that, that it's all being done fairly and equitably. And we've been working great here with Lynn so far, and I think it's going to go forward great this year. So,
thank you.
Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. John Cathy McGreevy, 58 Denmark Road. Yes. Yes.
I'm basically here to try and get some clarity on the noise ordinance in town.
Oh.
Specifically, some kind of idea of what the protocol is for enforcing the.
Okay, actually, I'm really glad you
you asked that question. We actually had a discussion with the town's attorney. And this relates as well to Blueberry Lane. We are waiting for the review on the ordinance. It needs to have some teeth. Quote unquote, from the town's attorney. The enforceability is all dependent on how strongly the ordinance is written for the district attorney to prosecute. If you read our ordinances, there's only a few that have a lot of, if you will, teeth to it. The marijuana, the water extraction, the rest of them, you know, your land use and those are pretty loosely written. They're pretty vague. So we're waiting for the review from the town's attorney to give us some verbiage so that we can get some teeth for enforcement purposes. When we get that back, of course, it's an ordinance. There has to be public hearings, there has to be, you know, some answers, and then it will go to town vote. So, you know, it's going to depend on the taxpayers themselves on how much teeth they want it to have. Because it's going to have to be a majority vote on acceptance and change to that ordinance. Once we get it back, we will sit down with the planning board, which I believe the planning board is going to meet with the Board of Selectmen September 24th. Kind of a re-engagement, well, collectively, let's get things together and get things moving meeting. So does that answer your question?
Well, I guess I understand you telling me that it's basically not an enforceable ordinance
It's
at this point.
the problem with the enforcement part of it is it has to have the legal teeth. Now, for myself, there's been a learning curve with enforcements of, you know, we're talking about a barking dog. Like, okay. Protocol, reporting. It's been a learning curve for me as a select board member on what we can and can't do legally and make it stick. There's protocols to it. So that's why we spoke with the town's attorney. If a ticket is written, it depends on the ticket, if it's a state statute or if it's a town ordinance statute. Okay. Tickets can be written, but that does not mean that the court has to follow through. The court can dismiss it. They do not have to pursue it. And it's on a judge to do that. It's not us. You know, we could write 50 tickets and the DA can just look at us and say, go away. We don't have time. So it is very dependent. And that's why we want more legal teeth involved in the ordinance, because it strengthens going to the DA's office. So and until we have that, really, what do we do?
And is the town attorney changing the ordinance that is there now to it?
What she's going to do is do the review, and she's going to provide us verbiage to add to it. She'll give that to us. It will go to the planning board because it is an ordinance, and we will work with the planning board to do appropriate changes, and then it'll go out for public, informational and public hearing, and then for vote. So there is a process to it. And that's not the only one that she's working. She's also personnel policy updates. It's been quite a long. I think 2016 was the last update on that. Things have changed. There's a multitude of things that we have her work. So, yes, sir.
Yeah, you were saying that she had to review it, put some teeth on it and
Yes.
stuff. Now, and you also said that it could go to the DA and they could say, just go away. So what good is it gonna do to rewrite it or add more strength to it?
Well,
Where are you gonna get any value out of it?
the more strength the more teeth, quote unquote, it's not my term. I'm not the attorney, I'm not the one that would be representing. The more teeth, the more apt it is to be handled by the court. That's pretty much what I took from what she was saying. Again, I'm not an attorney. You know, only time I've been to court's when I gotta give them money. So
So where is the strength in the come?
I don't know. I don't know. I would take it that it's good. The strength is gonna come from legal verbiage that's gonna get added to the ordinance that, I mean, it could be key words. I don't know. You know, I honestly, I don't know how to answer that question. You know, if I was an attorney, I could rattle off some really cool terms and stuff to you that would probably trigger interest at the DA's office and at the court level that were like, yeah, we need to do something with this. But I don't know.
You know, well, what if something was rewritten at the state level?
Something is rewritten at the state
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
I don't know that state.
No, I'm just saying, what if the state itself rewrote the policy and the ordinance?
The state will not rewrite our ordinance. That will not happen. State has their hands full with state stuff. They're gonna look us in the face, and they're gonna say, home rule, handle your business. So.
When the legal verbiage is added or whatever to this, will we be aware, will we be?
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, it's gotta go to an informational meeting. Public hearings, and then it's gotta go to town vote. It's an ordinance. The majority of the taxpayers make that decision whether it passes or not. So it's a process.
So for the moment, there's not much that can be done, it seems. I guess my follow-up question would be, is there any language at all in the ordinance that stipulates repercussion? You say you can write a ticket.
Okay, all right, I'm glad you asked that question. The town of Brownfield does not have a fine or fee schedule. We cannot. That has to be assessed by a judge. So we write a ticket, it goes to the DA says, yep, we're gonna prosecute this, or we're gonna move it forward. It goes in front of a judge. The judge is what decides who's getting fined and how much. We cannot determine that. We are not judge and jury. We are simply writing the ticket and forwarding it to the courts.
The only way anything is going to happen.
Is by a judge.
is-
By a judge, and that's state or ordinance level. If a ticket's written at the state level or for statute, or it's written for ordinance level, either way, a judge is the one that has to make that determination. We do not. We don't even review it. It is not in our purview. A judge has to pass the judgment on it.
You were saying, Ricky, that if the state rewrites something, the towns do not follow it?
That's not what I said. The way you stated it, Brian, was so the state can rewrite. And my response to that was the state will not rewrite our ordinance, period.
No, I'm talking about state.
Well, if the state rewrites something, they're gonna notify, and we have to follow state minimum. Now, with an ordinance, it can go above and beyond state minimums. Can't go below. So if the state changes something, then we have to meet that minimum criteria.
Yeah, that was my question.
Oh, I thought you was talking about our ordinance.
No,
The state would not, they're not gonna mess with our ordinance. No,
but they have their own process that they go through also.
I would gather, yes. Yes. I would guess that it goes to the House and the Senate. And then,
Mhm.
I have a stupid question. So if I started screaming on my lawn, nobody could do anything?
well, Oxford County can come down and ticket you. That's where it becomes a state level, is when the police are involved, that's a state level. If it's town level, ordinance level, then it's a town representative. ACO, code enforcement, that's town level. State level is if a cop shows up.
Does the state have any noise restriction?
I thought it's either 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
10 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah, 10.
10 o'clock,
Um,
like 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Yes. I believe.
Then if the state has that restriction.
Correct.
Will they take any responsibility for enforcing it?
Yes, Yep.
So who do you call?
Oxford County,
Oxford County?
Oxford County.
Oxford County.
Yep, Oxford County. They're our local police force.
Well, my experience is that they have been reluctant to do anything. And they seem to refer it back to the town.
We refer it back to the ACO. We call. And that goes all the way from the.
I wouldn't say it doesn't go like,
Why wouldn't you?
why wouldn't I?
Well, it's going to annoy, right?
Correct. Again, learning curve, okay? We had a workshop right here on Saturday. I believe it was the following Monday, we met with the town's attorney. So to say that nothing is being done, I beg to differ.
No, I'm talking with the ACO, rep, not with the town attorney, but I mean, we've called numerous times and.
Yep.
it was-
And in speaking to the town's attorney, that's the direction she told us to go in.
What do you mean?
To give the ordinance teeth. So that there's something solid for enforceability. So, I've said it many times, I will always follow the direction of the town's attorney. Because the town's attorney is the one that's gonna be defending the town in front of a judge. So it is in our best interest to follow that so that we get the best outcome possible. 100%. It's our job to make sure that we take care of the town. And we look out for the town's best interest, and that's legal, because legal costs money.
So what you're saying is Oxford County is called. And they say you have to refer it to the ACO. The ACO takes a report,
Correct.
writes it down.
Yep.
Brings it to you guys,
Mhm.
and then that's as far as her job to go, because Oxford County returned it back to her, and we cannot enforce the ordinances because it's
In a sense, yes.
innocent.
Yes.
Okay,
Writing a ticket. And I'll give you an example. There was a ticket written that went to the DA's office, and it was thrown out. It was thrown out. And that was a ticket written by a game warden, who has more authority than a state trooper. So what do we do? I'm not a cop. Is there a cop in the room?
Was it wrong because nobody showed up from the state of the thing?
Doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what the reason was. The district court threw it out, dismissed it. So where does that leave us? Again, I'm not an attorney. And I'm not a cop. So I can't sit here and tell everybody the legal wranglings. And, get down into, I guess you would say, the nitty-gritty of the laws, because I don't know them. I wouldn't expect any of you to know them in that depth. Because none of us are in law enforcement or in the judicial system. I don't know how to answer it. That's going to be accepted and to everybody. I've done the due diligence by reaching out to the town's attorney, who I have to rely upon to be given the guidance on how to best protect the town. I'm going to follow what that attorney tells me to do. So I'm waiting for her to respond with a change to an ordinance. And when it's done, the process will be followed to get it to the taxpayers to vote for it in a proper setting. And until that happens, if a ticket's written at the state level, again, it all comes down to the district court, what they're gonna want to do. I don't have any control of that, nor do you.
If a complaint is made. And the animal control officer is called.
Mhm.
Is she obliged to write a ticket? He or she obliged to write a ticket based on the complaint? Or do they have to determine that the complaint was legitimate?
I would say severity, and each situation is different. The cops will even tell you that. They can pull somebody over for speeding, it doesn't matter. Speeding, but they'll let somebody go and they'll write somebody else a ticket. We have spoken to the ACO and we have a report. I have a written report, I have pictures, I have it all. So I would like to think that the select board would be able to direct the ACO in the proper way. If there's, if she shows up and it's obviously, there's 10 dogs there and they're vicious and they're going after anybody that pulls in the yard or something, yeah, write a ticket. But if they come in, they pull into a driveway and bark, don't hear anything, okay? So then it comes down to expectation, okay? And this is, again, different with every situation. Comes down to expectation. Your expectation, her expectation. So your expectation is that they hang out, how long? 20, 30, 45 minutes? Trying to hear? And I'm just using this as an example. I'm not putting you on the spot to answer the question. That's not my meaning with it. Is the expectation on the complainant's part could be widely different than the opinion of the person showing up to look at the complaint. So if you make a call, hey, yep, driving me nuts. They pull up and they don't hear anything. What are they supposed to do? How do you ticket that? How do you say, yep, okay, it's happening. Roger that. Here's your ticket at the state level. If they don't hear it, what are they supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's really, every situation is different and the considerations need to be there on both parties. Your expectation is going to be way different than my expectation. Those opinions may vary, and I think that's where the anger comes from. Civil conversation, let's figure it out, always prevails.
Well. This has been an issue that's been ongoing for multiple years. And I don't see anything being done ever.
Okay.
And it's frustrating as hell. I can't get any response from Oxford County because they throw it back.
Well,
That's a town.
I want to disagree because we have the screen from Officer or Deputy Viano. I'll read it to you. On 9/7/24 at approximately 11:15 hours. I, Deputy Viano of OCSO, responded to a noise complaint at 58 Denmark Road in Brownfield. Kathleen McGreevy, I'm not going to put your age out there, of 62 Denmark Road in Brownfield, stated that our neighbor's dogs bark nonstop and the ACO won't do anything about it. I responded to 58 Denmark Road and spoke to Daniel Reed. Upon my arrival, I knocked and called out. No dogs barked at my presence. Daniel stated that he had 4 bulldogs and he does what he can to keep them quiet. However, they are dogs. He also stated that Kathleen's dog barks at 4:30 a.m. and gets his dogs going as well. I then spoke to Roberta Lord of 52 Denmark Road. She had a dog outside that was barking due to my presence. Roberta stated that Daniel's dogs do not bark excessively. However, they do bark just like everyone else's dog in the neighborhood, including Kathleen McGreevy's and the neighborhood dog across the street. I cleared as there was no apparent excessive noise problems, nothing further. And that's what we have to operate. We can't take this to court. So writing a ticket with this right here is gonna do what for us? Absolutely nothing. The DA is gonna laugh it and say, we're moving on. So we had spoken with the ACO. And there are some, I think that some changes coming. I can agree with that. But again, with that right there, what would you have us do? And that's one of the things, you know, I believe there's a statement in here that a ticket was going to be written. And then the dogs went away. They're at the
They have
Was
to
it-
be home as far as I know, but she
Yeah.
they still have. Probably 4, they still have 4.
I believe they stated they have 2. I believe they stated they have 2 indoor dogs.
Well, I don't wanna argue that point, the issue, the actual, what they have done has helped tremendously, whatever they did. We've actually gotten probably 4 or 5 nights sleep. The issue has not been during the day. We do have dogs, they're not out at 4:30 in the morning. Anyway, the dogs next door are not barking at night in the last 4 or 5 nights, but the issue has always been at night from 10 to 7, when it's supposed to be quiet.
Mhm.
And I don't know whether you read the file that I have.
Oh, yes, ma'am, we got it right here. Yep.
It's 10 o'clock at night, it's 12 o'clock at night, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, the other morning was 4. I mean, it's like, and we've asked, we have spoken to the Reeds on so many occasions, called them, asked kindly, and, oh, well, I'll try. And it just continues, and the next night it might be good, and then the next night it's awful again. So it's like, you know, we feel like our hands have been tied, we've called the police, I've called Cindy a number of times. Sometimes mostly I just get a message machine, and sometimes she calls back, sometimes not.
Oh, and what's on, Mr. Call?
Yeah,
One time.
Yeah.
in
It
any
was 2
case,
o'clock in the morning.
no, it wasn't too long.
I got you.
This has been the issue, and it's been on, and I have messages that I've sent to both Dan and Michelle Reed. Asking them over and over, starting in 2021, that this has been an ongoing issue. So there's no teeth to the ordinance, there's no help anywhere, is what it seems to be. Fortunately, they have followed through on rehoming them, I do believe. So hopefully it
Yeah.
will continue to get improved. It's been off.
You have a picture there.
Yeah, we actually have a picture of the dogs in.
So
Right there. So,
they went to a Vermont, French dog rescue.
so, well,
So
I have to admit, I'm glad that you stated that, things are better. So things have been, yep, so things have changed, so we will move forward, but I really want to impress upon you that unless we have something to take to the DA, our hands are tied.
Yeah.
And we can't impose anything, there's nothing we can impose. It takes a judge.
I got a really. I don't know, it's not a stupid question, but if these dogs are barking in the middle of the night, where are the homeowners? Are they home? Are they listening to it?
I don't know what people's sleeping habits are.
Neither, but I mean.
They could sleep all day when the dogs are quiet and have a rave at night, I don't know.
I wondered myself,
Well,
but I think part of the problem is here. Reeds have built a kennel on the back of their garage. And the dogs are kept in the garage. But to have a
pet dogs.
pet dog into the outside kennel, which is right below our bedroom window.
But they can't hear them?
I don't know what the story is, because
I don't know.
Well,
anyway,
I guess the extent of this is it's better. So we'll just move
we'll
forward,
just wait.
Okay,
Brian.
The attorney's gonna try to revise some stuff better heat and verbiage and whatnot. Now, how far away, if that happens, are we gonna hear, well, it's a farm and they can last all they want? See, that, like.
Brian, I want to impress upon you two things, okay? I get your question. I can't answer for the attorney. I don't know what she's gonna give us. I don't know.
No, what I'm saying, that the ACO will still say that it's a farm and they can bark all they want.
I don't know.
We'll have to see what she comes up with.
Is anybody, the homeowner home when this is happening?
Absolutely.
And it doesn't seem to distract them?
I'll give you an analogy, okay? I went out on an aircraft carrier. And our berthing, where we slept, was right underneath number 2 catapult. And if you all don't know what a catapult is, that's what drags a jet off the boat and slings them. Okay, so all you hear is shh, boom, shh, boom. And we did night ops after night ops after night ops. After about 4 or 5 days, sleep like a baby. No problems. Wouldn't bother me a bit. Wouldn't even know what was going on. So I can't answer for others. I don't know. Okay.
said what I had to say.
Thank you. All right, so affordable housing. I got an email with affordable housing. Let's see. And okay, this has been forwarded from Joe Egan and Terry Lockhead. It's with Genesis Fund, is relevant to Brownfield and affordable housing. It was just a very interesting conversation. Would it be worthwhile to have someone come in and talk to the select board and the planning board in connection to affordable housing being built in Brownfield? He said that about 50% of median income, you need a public subsidy to offer lower rents or purchase prices, and rentals are difficult. And then do we have the capacity for building, a long-term building facility, for housing? So I'd like to ask the select board if we would be interested in entertaining this with the planning board and get a brief on it. I would say yes, because housing is a problem everywhere. Obviously it's a problem because the state even started off with LD 2003, and that's what 454 now, something like that, where they allow clustering. So, it's one of those things that doesn't hurt to talk. Get a briefing.
I agree.
Yeah, I heard this here and what they want to do, Genesis, which is a fund corporation, I think they're involved with nursing homes. They want to develop it and then have the town maintain it and do the housing authority on it. They want a housing, as far as I got, maybe I didn't get it right. But they're saying such as a nonprofit corporation formed by the municipality to maintain it. So it would be up to the town. Once they develop it, they're out of the picture for what it is. And then it's up to us to maintain low income housing. To me, at this point for the town, there's so many other things the town's got on this plate that that I'm not aware of, probably a lot of it. But this is a hedge fund looking to use state subsidy and federal subsidy and town donation of land to make their development happen and give us the responsibility of maintaining it, which is what I got, or maybe I'm wrong, but.
Well, it says that we can get the cost down for building at least 5 homes with a modular housing. Gets cost down from 500K to 400K. Using Maine housing dollars can get it down another 100K. There could be other options that are going to be talked about with this, not just Genesis, because I mean, even whether addressing the accessory dwelling units, that could be pretty beneficial in here because we have the main statute that was enacted that took over from 2003 and allows clustering and ADUs. So
What's ADU?
accessory dwelling unit.
Okay,
So basically an in-law apartment or a 2-bedroom apartment on the back of your house for your daughter and kids or whatever, there could be a multitude of things. I don't see that it would be a waste of time to set through a brief.
well, I mean, for me, I think. I don't know everything that's going on in town, believe me, what you guys are having to deal with, but it seems like there's quite a bit to deal with, and we've had roads wash out last year, I'm sure it's probably gonna happen again this year, seeing what's going on now in other places, and I think to try to take on affordable housing for the town.
I think you're missing the point.
Yeah, I think
This is just a brief. This isn't that we're binding off on a contract with anybody, but I'd rather be informed and be able to put it out to the taxpayers, because ultimately we don't make that decision.
Oh, no, yeah, and
No, that goes to the taxpayers to say, hey, you guys want to foot the bill on this?
well,
But there could be some valuable information
yeah,
that we could get from this, and they're gonna come see us. We don't have to go somewhere.
well, I think if they come, we should ask them for what their portfolio is, where they have their other investments, so we can see how successful they are. Or, or if there's other places where they've done this and how they feel about it. I think they should be required to provide information to their integrity,
Well, good. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
Contact Joe Egan and Perry Lockhead.
yeah,
Make it happen, Captain.
okay, well,
It's in your will.
I mean, I don't mind talking about it in a planning board meeting, but I just want to point out the fact that
Well,
a lot of this is investors
get the
looking for
information.
investors.
Get the information,
Yeah.
and we'll bring it to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
Works for me. All right.
Just a question, where they said affordable housing, are they talking like apartment buildings or are they just talking houses?
Don't know.
Because.
It
I think-
isn't 100% verbatim spelled out in that email.
Right,
This was in response to a conversation with Terry Lockhead and Joe Egan with these people. So,
because
I can't answer.
I know, I'm just saying, I would ask them if they're looking at apartment buildings. Because on a standard apartment building would be good for the area, because there's a lot of people who don't have apartments and they can't get a job. And you got more hotels and stuff going up in Freiburg or up in North Conway, they're looking for help, but nobody's gonna go because they ain't got no place to live.
Well, you could be looking at duplexes.
Correct.
I mean, they're
It would be
I would rather
interesting to
I'd
hear.
rather get some program information on it.
Right.
So,
Well, they mentioned using at least 5 homes in modular housing that's built in Oxford County. So it's probably prefab housing that they're considering now, but it could be something different, like you said. Yeah, when you get into it deeper, it could be something different. But the thing is, you provide affordable housing, doesn't necessarily guarantee it's gonna be for the residents of Brownfield. And that's something else to ask at the meeting, yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
where the preferences.
We're not gonna be at a loss, other than some time. Listen to what these people have to say, and if it comes to fruition, great. If it doesn't, well, we'll have a couple hours of a day. Partial. So you're gonna reach out to Joe Egan and Terry Lockhead?
Yeah.
See if we can get something together?
Well, did you want to deal with it at the September 24th meeting?
Nope.
Okay, plenty going on.
Just go ahead and reach out to Terry and
Okay.
Joe, see if you can set something up.
if you have this meeting, would it be open to the public?
Every meeting's open to the public unless it's executive session.
Thank you.
Assessor's return was signed by Bob's counsel, 281,572. I believe we covered this last week. And also we had the county assessors and treasurer, they made a mistake, so that's why. So that's all done. Allied Universal ADA assessment on this building and the community center will happen October 15th. So I don't have a time in it yet, but it'll be posted on the website. All right. Any left? Okay. So all right, I've got three. There they go. There you go. All right, I have three resignation letters that were turned in and dated 4/23/24 from the fire chief. Resignation from safety officer. So these are all uniform. I will read one and just add the title to it because they're uniform. Board of Selectmen, please accept this letter as my formal resignation as safety officer, E911 administrator, and health officer for the town of Brownfield, effective on 6/30/2024. This position should be held by the Public Works as this department responsible for all town buildings, code enforcement office, and code enforcement office. So I will make a motion that we accept these three resignation letters. Okay. All in favor? Okay. It's supposed to happen in the town was told about this April 23rd. Nothing happened. So no vote was taken, was not accepted at the time. So it is official now. Due to those resignations, the health officer and the safety officer were taken by Bill Flynn. He was appointed, and due to not having anybody to do those positions, I have a authorization for the safety officer in the amount of $2,000 that I'm going to make a motion on right now to pay Bill Flynn, safety officer, and I'm going to justify why. One, these resignation letters were turned in April. Nothing was done with them. We didn't try to find somebody to assign. It's a statutory requirement that we have an assigned health officer, no question about it. The safety officer is critical in the town because we actually get a discount on our insurance. We're having a good, current, up-to-date safety program. I wish that the chief was here because he could tell us about how much. I thought he said like 10%. We saved like upwards of 10% on our municipal insurance by having a good safety office program. Thank you. And because nothing was put into place, and the safety program was actually kind of brushed aside. I mean, we had documents in a couple of the binders that were 3 years old. The program just kind of fell apart. So that is my justification. We got somebody that does a very good job handling the program, very engaging, and very much wants to do it, which That right there, just like employment, if you can get somebody to show up the job. There you go,
We take it seriously.
yes, 100%. So. The motion stands. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
That'll be for both positions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's. That's it. Yeah.
Can I put it first?
So I'll do this one as well. It's an authorization for a pay increase for the appointment of the appointed town clerk position. The position carried 50,000 at town meeting. In negotiation to fill that position, it was $3,000 more to accept the position. So in discussion with the town's attorney and RHR, we were authorized to accept that. So this form right here, there is no vote that needs to happen. The vote is considered the appointment. So she's going to bring that back up. Thank you.
No, they sell from.
Yeah, it's tearing me up. Which did you want to send? That can go on there.
Yeah.
$10,000 increase.
And it's $10,000 from what she was making, so it's
Right.
53.
Oh, so is that a $10,000 increase?
No, no,
No, it's for town clerk, 53.
53.
Yeah,
okay,
that's what
Town-
it's going up to. Yeah,
correct.
okay,
From what's, yeah,
Right,
from
yeah.
a page.
She was in the appointed position at 43.
uh-huh.
Right.
Oh, so now she, all right,
All right,
she's not deputy anymore.
okay.
Right.
Okay, thanks.
All right, first communication. See, first communication. All right, so I guess we'll back up. Oh, yeah. See what these things. What's done. Yeah,
So we have a budget meeting on Monday,
yeah,
held on sending the minutes and the agenda until we knew who was gonna be sitting,
yep,
the third select board member.
Yep.
So if Elviana wouldn't mind updating the roster that you had sent us, including Vinnie. And that way I can get the minutes and the agenda out for Monday. Is that okay?
I'll do my next.
Okay, thank you.
all right, so we'll back up, Benny, you're on the agenda.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, did you guys get a chance to, get all the emails and everything?
I've got one email with an attachment.
And, well, the packet is, public records that I, paid for.
Public records. I don't know what you're talking about.
I could run out and grab it real quick. I have it. I was hoping you guys had the public records.
What are you looking for, Lynn?
All the same stuff I was always looking for when Maggie was here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't,
This packet that she had and then paid you guys like $175 to give me what I already
Put
had.
that in first file, you know.
oh, the file.
I agree.
There's a file against me to hold me accountable in the court of law, because there were 2 court cases. I was awaiting a speedy trial for when you were calling 911 and had me arrested.
I would believe that would be with the town's attorney.
No, you guys have it, because it's public record, like, I could go, if you want to get it in the office now.
No, we're good.
Well, I did already.
We're good.
No, I know that, because I got more records than you guys got. And now I know why you didn't give me it, because it proves more, it's more evidence. And not in your favor,
Okay,
because right now, I'm still the accused, I have a right to my accusers. But you're the only selectman up there that was a part of the board that had me arrested.
Okay.
Today. That's
so,
what I'm talking about, unfinished business, you know better than anybody.
okay, so what exactly you want us to give you?
The judge said you were wrong,
No,
so
no.
now what? Yeah. So now. what do
I'm
you-
not arguing about any judge or anything like that, Vinny. I'm asking you a question of what do you want me to give
Recuse
it?
yourself, because you have victimized them.
Recuse myself from what?
Dealt with intentional emotional distress because of your abuse of authority
Oh,
under color of law.
okay.
In that face, the way you're acting, that's not defusing anything. You don't have the ability to communicate.
Okay.
And you told the judge the opposite.
I didn't talk to a judge. No, I didn't know.
Buddy, Leah, your best friend, Leah Ration.
Say, I didn't talk to no judge.
It's your lawyer. It's
Okay.
Ricky Emery's lawyer.
Oh, yeah,
Leah
okay,
is Ricky Emery's lawyer.
perfect. She's a damn good lawyer.
I asked for her to be here, and she has nothing to say either.
Oh,
She pleads the fifth as well.
okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd rather not talk to you any longer. I'd rather
Okay.
talk to one of the other members of the board.
by all means,
Interesting that
have at it.
they've been victimized. Okay. Frank, do you wanna take up on it? Cause I brought this up with you all this time, all these years. You guys promised to do something, and everybody's just always got a smirk on their face, laughing.
Not laughing at you, that's for sure.
But
If I knew what to do,
victimized, being threatened, harassed, bullied, instigated, antagonized, intimidated, slandered, left and right. And I keep getting, look, there was no, you guys don't know none. You guys. Explaining this, that everybody else understands it, including the commissioners, the DA and Christopher Wainwright, our sheriff. They're all at a loss too, as why you guys haven't cleared this up, and there's still a bunch of muddy waters there. This goes back to when Cindy Eaton came to my house and had a brother who was trying to steal my property. So, see, Ricky knows everything about it. He's laughing, thinking it's.
Who's laughing?
Telling his buddy, don't worry about
No, no,
it. You're laughing.
Vinny,
I told him to be quiet, I'm not talking to you.
excuse me,
I'm talking to Frank.
Vinny, I want you to understand something. This is,
Saying something.
okay,
You work for us.
very well. Vinny, I'm gonna ask you to leave.
I'm not going anywhere.
Vinny, ask you to leave, please.
Are you, is the whole board asking me to leave? I have a right to redress my
Vinny,
government,
Frank.
I know the law, and I know my rights. The commissioner
You
just
want it?
told me to
Yeah.
come here and keep doing what I'm doing, Vinny. I'm not bothering anybody. He's the one harassing me, trying to threaten me, instigate me, and he's getting up ready to call 911.
I am,
There's no
Vinny.
threat.
Vinny,
Go get him.
you need to understand. You need to understand something, okay?
No, sit down, shut your mouth. I'm not.
You're out.
talking to you.
You are out.
This is. Okay. I have a right to redress. This is a topic on the agenda, and they don't even have what I asked them to present. I'll be right back in with why they won't let me in here.
That's it.
Holy shit, it took me a break.
I guess.
Oh, okay.
All right. Good, well, then I'll go see him. You would please wait.
We'll give you, yeah,
Give you 5 minutes.
yeah, hide on the other side of the building.
Yes. Especially Christine.
We're gonna take control of it. We're gonna take control of it. It's hard to, but he's in control, so
He pleads the fifth, he stated.
he wants it, he's meeting, go for this thing that's thick. How are we gonna do that?
It's not that thick, it's about a file about this thing.
What's it all about, just
Oh.
previous things that
every
happened?
time his name's mentioned, it'll meet.
He wanted, every time, anytime his name was mentioned, he wanted a five.
Tell people that.
So
First of all,
he doesn't know how to get things what he wants.
He's on meds. I mean, he takes meds for his condition.
Yeah, but how much of that stuff are we supposed?
Oh, I know, I'm not saying that, I'm saying that there's,
I mean, he's out there hollering, yelling at me.
Oh, yeah.
and I don't have no backbone.
oh, the accusation shouldn't be there at all with anybody.
There's a lot more than what's in. Let you just breeze through that real quick. There are
Well,
select-
it's real quick.
No, but
Well,
that's what they say they don't have.
yeah,
And that's what they're threatening me with all kinds of stuff. That proves their harassment against me.
is there any way you can, make a summary of it and bring it
I have,
in?
if they have it. That's why I asked for them to present it to our new selectmen.
That's
Playing games.
That's probably what I have, unless you've added to it.
I added more to it with the stuff that you didn't find. Remember when you looked? They let me look and have my right to public access to public records. I found the stuff I was looking for, Vinny, and they never gave it to me. I paid for them to a freedom of access.
If you want to go talk everything outside, not tonight, I mean, out some other day and.
No matter to me.
You
You're
got
a
a
select
big
board
group,
member, you
right?
talk to me anytime you want.
Okay, yeah, so we'll get together sometime, you go over with me.
They never allowed me that right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll agree with you or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah.
They never allowed me
Yeah.
that right. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
okay.
That's all I asked for.
Yeah, no, yeah, we'll talk
Perfect.
about some, yeah, we know each other, so, yeah.
Forward momentum. Thank you,
Okay.
Vinny. That's
You're
all we
welcome.
needed. Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
All right, Matt, you guys all set?
yeah.
All right.
Well, he leaves.
That's all we gotta do.
And so everybody knows. Both assessors are outside. Along with Cliff was out there, and the whole time he's walking this way, quote unquote, pussy, bitch, that's what he's yelling at. Okay, so don't think for 1 minute that he's Mr. Calm demeanor and it's appropriate. No, absolutely not.
I'd like to say something about what he's trying to do. It sounds like to me that he's got a case against the town and he's trying to get us to,
Authorize it.
to plead his case. That's his job, not ours.
Well, that's just it, he went in front of a judge and he was no trespass on all town property. The only thing he was able to do was come and conduct business registration, pay taxes, licensing at the front office and to go to town meeting and vote. That was it.
He put a video on Facebook, he was having a fire around.
And yeah, and ma'am, it's town policy. We do not have open fires. One, he has to pull a permit from the fire chief. And none of that was done. No open fires on town property. I mean, we're trying to protect the town property. There are charcoal pits over by the large area over here, the swings and all that little castle thing. If he wants to cook, go ahead and do it. He's got a what do they call it, a food forest, if you will, right out here, and it's not a problem. He can go do it. No problem at all. But I mean, the town's not gonna find volunteers and make it happen for him. And all the things in the past, I mean, come on, a judge trespassed him, so obviously there was some grounds. And now to come back, Vinny, what do you need? I thought I was pretty courteous. What do you need, Vinny? You're on the agenda, what's up? And it's amazing because we got an email today from no names.
Oh,
So I'll read it to you. I don't have Frank and Vinny's email, or I would have included them on this email. Vincent Carbone has asked me if I could express what assistance he would like to make in his food forest project and other events successful. He is aware that we all speak a different language and communication can be challenging. He has reviewed the attached letter and approved what is written. I have given him some advice for tonight's meeting as I will not be able to attend. That advice is to breathe, take a few moments, let others speak, and have a two-way conversation. I'm giving this to you now in hopes that you can prepare some parameters. Please don't use words like rules or authoritative words that set him off. He seems to be okay with the word parameters. I am quite aware this is not a full solution for the communication disconnect, but I hope it gives the selectmen something to refer back to when talking about using a different method of communication rather than calling the police first. Also, it sets up his parameters to fall back on too. Thank you for your consideration. So, the attachment to that email stated, Vincent Carbone would like to work with the Selectmen, Public Works Director, and the Recreation Director to define parameters for the Community Food Forest project currently in progress. This would include specific marked off territory to stay within, what specifically that land will be used for, how often the Selectmen need updates on the Food Forest project, and all other parameters that would be helpful for the Food Forest to succeed. Vincent also has some other events that he is working on with the Rec Director, such as a hunter's breakfast, for example. He has some ideas for other upcoming events. What kind of details would you like to know about the event and how much advance notice is needed to be sure all parameters are met by the selectmen? Would the selectmen be interested in an event hosted by another successful food forest project in another town held at the BCC? This could help educate the community on the vision of Brownfield's food forest project and hopefully gain some volunteers. Thank you for your time and consideration. At what time did that man even?
I knew that.
It was instantly, a court case. So, it makes it really difficult. It's like a community garden, if you will. He's got like there's a pumpkin out there that's growing. He planted some plants. He's got a pear tree over there somewhere.
An apple tree.
An apple tree. I mean, we gave him a pretty large spot right out here that he could utilize to plant and do all that.
But you didn't give him permission to have fires.
Correct. No, quote unquote, I was told that's his ancestral rights. So, but I just want everybody to know, it's not that we're inconsiderate to anybody. I honestly thought he was on the agenda for this. You know what I mean? And I got no problems doing it. But if that's how it's going to come across, I got bigger fish to fry.
He can't talk to you. He can go mute.
Yeah, it's fun.
The email said a marked off area.
Right.
I had mentioned, the septic system up there and mentioned that, Public Works put it up there so we couldn't have a spot. Well, he needs to know that that septic system was probably put in when this building was built.
Correct.
Yeah, there's a big.
And I just don't want him planting trees around because we had to redo it because of roots, tree roots. Right, now everybody knows. Roots are water. That's all I mentioned, but Public Works is a bad guy.
Well, yeah.
Or putting the septic system out in his food plot.
What were you
But-
thinking?
Is it?
If he wants it marked off, we can, we was talking about the trees and the rocks.
Yeah, I'm with you, Cliff. I ain't got a problem coming up here and walking the property and designating the area. We did that like 4 or 5 years ago when this whole process started. And it's a good sized area, the area out there is probably 6 times bigger than the gardens that my wife has at my house. So, I mean, he can plant, go ahead. Have your food festivals and all that. The town doesn't have a problem. We never had a problem with it.
Well, I tried to get him, counted.
Right.
And I know several people, not several, but a few people have free count, which is free, so everybody's taking it because now Calmano is
Worth money.
expensive in loan. And I just couldn't get it, and I told him that, but Public Works is not trying, we're
You're a bad guy.
that guy, so.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. When I did this, it was on my time. Weekend, and I just couldn't help it, and of course he took that on.
Okay, first communication form received with the complaint. Okay, complaint dated 9/17. Owen Mills. Junkyard issue on Williams property, 15 to 20 cars. Okay. Code enforcement. This will go with my code enforcement.
Yep.
We had an email from a taxpayer requesting that we speak with review the tax assessment and speak with the assessor, which we did today. There's been multiple requests for additional information from the taxpayer that have not been met. So not really anything we can do unless we get the information from the taxpayer, so. And so everybody knows, this is all of the correspondence between the taxpayer and the assessor. Multiple requests for information that just are going unanswered. Oh, big deal to mine. Another taxpayer complaint. Last snowstorm of the year. Public Works pushed all the town's road snow into my driveway, blocked me in. Sunday morning, spoke to the chair selectman. So that was Dick Norcross. On Monday, called the Public Works director to make him aware of what the employee did. Public Works, the selectman had mentioned this at any meeting, nor did they do anything about it. I am making the complaint now because nothing has been said or done about it, as I can only assume it's not an issue to them. All right, so however, it's a very big issue with me. It was left about 100 feet into my driveway, blocking the entire thing. Clearly the driver knew it was not at the end of the road, but on private property. So Public Works, you're aware of the complaint?
That's too late.
Correct. All right. All right. Do you have it under control?
I'll explain, but yes, it's on.
Thank you. Bureau of Motor Vehicles, new plates. They're gonna be getting rid of the chickadee. Pine tree with a star over it, or just a plate. Nothing else on it. Literally. Just says sample. Well, I guess. Oh. So that's gonna be starting,
May 1st.
yeah, May 1st, 2025. BMV agents will no longer issue plates with a chickadee design. Anyone with a chickadee design will be required to obtain new plates when they renew their registration or obtain a new registration on or after May 1, 2025. So I got a question. If I have to, when I come to re-register, do I have to pay for the new plates?
Not more than a normal fee.
Well, it's a pre-registration, I'll pay for the plates.
You do. You still pay a
That's
certain plate.
That's what, $13 or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is the plane was cheaper,
Yeah.
like $5 maybe?
Come on now, we're talking about the state here, they like our money.
Register your vehicle in March. You have to turn around and get new plates in May.
No, the following year upon re-registration, you would get new ones.
So if you re-register in March of 25, March of 26 is when you're gonna have.
Correct.
Of the chickadee for an extra year.
Oh. You Showing everybody the bird. We're currently working on a solid waste contract with Conway Incinerator Service. We've been talking back and forth with Kathy Garland. There will be a Public Works transfer station and the select board and treasurer looking into hauling our own waste. Truck containers, the whole 9 yards, device contract price. So that'll be a workshop coming soon. So we can start seeing if the tax, if it's gonna save us money, great. But if it's gonna be a wash, I would just assume let the contract stay. We don't have any responsibility at that point, other than writing a check. So SAD 72 notified us of school assessments are slightly lower. Went to the assessors, so that's where the change came in for the overlay 70,009. So that it actually previously it was 1335 with a $75,000 overlay. Now it's 70,000, so that changed to that. Maine Health. School year. Okay, Maine Municipal Employees Health Trust. That will be coming up. Why don't they just do like they used to? They gave us up to 10, they just tell us, look, it's start January 1st, it's up X percentage.
They've gone away with some plans.
Yeah, members who participate in the POSC and POS 200 will no longer need a referral from their primary care provider, effective January 1, 2025. They're going to be renaming the plans. A is no longer, C is Acadia, 200 is Baxter, 500 is Katahdin, 1500 Moosehead, 2500 Pemaquid. So they're going to be renaming those. I don't see a change in those. Low cost. So we don't have. Okay, so 2025 rates and open enrollment period will be November 15th through December 15th, 2024 for the January 1st, 2025 effective date. I think we only have two that are right. Yeah.
Yep.
So. There's a Maine Municipal Business Meeting in Augusta, Wednesday, October 2nd. Annual convention, the agenda, introductions, welcoming remarks, election results, approval of 2023 MMA annual business meeting minutes, MMA president's report, XO's report, and other business with adjournment. Do you guys want to go? Oh, come on, you look dangerously. All right. Fen Hill project. So this is from Matt Streeter, dated September 7th. My apologies for all the redundant emails. Feel free to delete them if you want, but I want to make sure you have copies of what I submitted for permitting in case you want to keep a complete record. As one more item, which you may want to file separately, attached are the final engineering plans for the Fen Hill Road culvert. Do you have this? No. Okay, you'll have it. These are included in both Maine DEP and the Army Corps permit application. He broke them out separately. So I mean, if you could please forward these this packet to the Public Works Director. We're gonna have to meet at some point with these guys to see what we're gonna have to budget for, because we had that bid that was accepted, and I think after 365 days, it's null and void. Typical contract. So we're gonna have to go back out. We need to see what our buy-in is on that. Because when we got the bids, we took the lowest bid, but it was still what 90,000 or something like that over what the cost or what we were gonna get for doing it. So we're gonna have to figure something out, see if we need to raise and appropriate. So, do you wanna take, lead on talking to Matt and getting what we got a budget for? Cause he was pretty good with, there's another older fellow that come up and briefed us a couple of times, cause we did the one over on, right there at the end of Porter Road. We did that one, and then the one over on Porter Road. That, they answered a lot of questions, they were pretty good. So, yeah, see if we can set something up with those guys, so we know what we need to budget for appropriately, because we have a budget meeting Monday, I mean, we've started, so it'd be good.
I believe when we got the bids, and the way it was over. He was trying to find more money for grants, and I believe he did a little.
Yeah, he did. I wanna say the last email I saw, I think it was sent to Dick, was another $30,000 grant money towards it. But I don't know if he got anything in between when we accepted bid and that last 30,000, that was this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know whatever transpired last year with that whole project. So, yeah, if you want to take cognizance of that, keep us up to speed and set up a brief for those guys.
Copy of that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That we're gonna cover with contracts. Main local roads. Tammy Sabicki. Supervisory leadership last week, Daniel Abbott finds very intuitive and in-depth training, part 2. So this is all training.
Yeah, I sent that to Cliff, I asked
Okay.
him if he needs me to keep sending them to him, because I know he gets them too.
He does get these. So he does get these?
He generally does, every time I've asked him in the past, so that's why I asked him there, do you
Yeah.
want me to continue?
Yeah, keep sending them regardless, because we ran into the same thing. I was getting emails from MMA that you guys weren't getting. And it was weird because I've been poking at the top to see why they're not. It's just my name, MMA. I don't understand. So that's why I forwarded you guys. So, yeah, anything you get, that's public works concentric, send it in. Yeah, we're good. What the road, manage community resilience partnership. I don't know how to pronounce the name. My name is GIANLUCAYORNET. So we'll just abbreviate it as Luca. And I work at Center for an ecology-based company in Norway. I'm reaching out to offer Brownfield the opportunity to join Maine's community resilience program, our partnership. State of Maine program designed to help communities reduce emissions and prepare for the effects of climate change. By enrolling in the partnership, towns can apply for no match community action grants of up to $50,000 every 6 months. These grants can fund a wide range of resilience projects like energy efficiency upgrades, watershed protection, the assessment of vulnerable infrastructure, and much more. The partnership also funds service provider organizations like CEBE to assist communities with their enrollment process and first grant application. This support is offered at no cost to your town, thanks to state funding. So far, we have successfully worked with Bethel, Casco, Hanover, Hartford, Lovell, Norway, Otisfield, Paris, Stoneham, Sumner, West Paris, and Woodstock. We are currently seeking communities to join our next 2025 cohort. Would you be interested in learning? If it's free money, hell yeah. Why not? Yeah. We all think?
Doesn't cost any money.
Free's good.
Yeah, it's free's good.
All right. Wants to reach out and make it happen.
Is there a contract involved with it for so many years or just, no, just,
Doesn't say.
just an agreement?
Don't know.
I see this one was done for information.
Yeah.
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 You want me to-
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, we just put I mean, Marcus, you want to figure out something? Perfect.
That's-
All right, Saco River Corridor Commission. Dear Mr. Strange, Saco River Corridor Commission rules require that copies of applications for permits or variances be on file at the town or city clerk's office in the municipality where the proposed use will take place. This allows municipal officials, planning board members, and abutters an opportunity to review the applications before the commission takes action. We recently received an application from the following for development within the corridor. Chad Aronio, seeking a permit to install a single-family residency tiny house no closer than 350 feet from the normal high water line of the Saco River at 270 Plantation Lane, map R01, lot 5-10 in Brownfield. Full copies of this application are available via the link above. Please keep this on file at your office for 60 days. And enclosures went to Mike Vane, the select board, the planning board, Holly Hazard, and Bill Flynn. Signed Haley LaChance, admin assistant. So do you want to present that to Elizabeth? Sweet, thank you. Charter communications notification. Charter communications. Upcoming changes, new customers only. Well, this is just what we covered with the Eastern Slopes Regional Broadband. Because it's all Spectrum. The service is going to be Spectrum. So. I did sign the contract for the vote that we had done for Allied Universal for the ADA compliance inspection or assessment, not inspection, assessment on this building and the community center. Like I said, this is going to be that they have the contract. It's signed, ready to go. Treasurer's got the checkbook ready. So October 15th, that will happen. When the time comes, please make sure Public Works Director, Health and Safety Officer, Fire Chief, and at least one select board member. If it's going to be more than one, we'll make it a workshop. That way, the public can attend. I mean, public's money's paying for it anyway, so. But yes, that way we set up notification.
Cause it's happening.
Yep, he should be available. Did you want to be part of that?
Cool.
The assessment? Okay, all right, so just make sure everybody's notified and on board. And 5 days prior, we should have the time. If there's going to be more than one select board member present, we'll put the notifications out and send it to website, door, and Paul and Charlotte. Okay, fire chief sent a public safety building site drawing. So if anybody is interested in seeing that, it is here. For anybody's viewing pleasure. That next meeting will be October 2nd here at 6:30. So. So that. Through the correspondence folder. Oh, it's gaining. All right, next budget committee meeting will be Monday, 9/23 at 6 p.m. here. The planning board will meet with the board of selectmen on 9/24 here at 6 p.m. And then the public safety building will be October 2nd.
It's another folder day.
Oh, other. Thought we were gaining. Okay. That was covered in the payroll signature. Ooh. Okay, this is a good one. Attention, media opportunity. Explore the untold story of female timber sports athletes in feature film. Axe Women, the modern lumberjill. My name is Indiana Underhill, producer of the documentary Axe Women, the modern lumberjill. We are reaching out to ask for your help in spreading the word about our high octane film, which explores the intersection of feminism and athleticism through the lens of female timber sports athletes or lumberjills. We believe there are many local organizations and press outlets that will resonate with this story, especially since our athletes and the highlighted competitions are all local to your area. We are looking for any recommendations or contacts you may have to help us reach those audiences. This documentary takes a deep dive into over 100 years of women's contributions to the timber industry and highlights modern day athletes challenging societal norms with their physical power and perseverance. We're currently in the funding process to complete the feature-length documentary. Oh, there we go. That's why. Yeah, they're looking for some money. But if anybody's interested, we have the information.
No, I got nothing to do without being a timber jail or whatever that is.
Comp plan implementation committee update for Board of Selectmen, August 2024.
That you've already seen that a week or so ago.
Right.
She gave that to me today because Sonia had signed it.
Oh, perfect.
And
Okay,
so that's already been posted to the web.
awesome. We're doing good. Rocking. All right, so we have the planning board meeting minutes. Those were also posted as well. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. That's lawyer stuff. Perfect. Look at that.
They,
2 folders done.
good job.
It's interesting.
They're looking for some money. Okay, so. All right.
You two go, I'll go. I'll follow you two.
I'm gonna have an axe to grind with,
Okay,
I get access. to
I'm
it.
sure.
so I believe we are finished. Is there anything from the audience? No? Okay, all right.
I get some stuff.
She's got stuff, oh, she's got stuff. She's got stuff.
When the treasurer starts talking stuff, because that means, look.
Number one, I'd like to set a date for a workshop
Yep.
with the selectmen to discuss different office hours.
Okay.
And we'd like to also discuss moving the office around, having the treasurer, the deputy, and the clerk in one building and in one room, the administrative assistant in her own room, and the planning board and CEO in their own room. A shuffle, just so everyone who's works together is in the same room. I think it would make it a better workflow. Whenever Public Works can come assist us move some stuff, because we get some file cabinets and stuff that,
Yeah, put your back in.
mhm.
You see someone, you know.
Okay,
So you wanted to have a date for workshop
yes, I would like to set a date for a workshop, so we could all discuss.
before we move the furniture?
Yeah, well, discuss what we wanna do is
Yeah.
change the office hours, so to make it more convenient. Not only for the personnel, but for the public to come in and get their cars registered and stuff like that, so.
I got my hand appointment tomorrow morning at 8, so I'll know what my next week's appointment is. So I can text you that on the way back and we can set it up.
Okay, that sounds good.
Is that open to the public?
Yes, it's a workshop. Again, the only thing that is not public is an executive session. Anything else, anybody can show up, cheer us on, please bring popcorn.
What food?
Also, I wanted to let everyone know that we're paying off the fire truck. And we're paying it off they said if we pay it before November 15th, we save $610. So that's getting paid off, that'll be ours.
Sweet.
I figured out how we could manage to stay within budget for the cell phones. I have that in detail here. And also inquiry of how many hours we would have left available for the transfer station for fall cleanup. We have 136 hours available, which would break down to if you had three transfer station people, that would be 5 extra days if they were doing 8-hour shifts. So no matter how you slice that, if you're doing 2 guys and 2 days or whatever, you have an online of 136 hours to play with as far as that is concerned. After we pay everyone June 1st, June 30th.
Sweet.
And that's all I have.
Cell phones.
Cell phones, yes.
We tabled this long enough.
Okay, so if we cancel the 4 cell phones and keep just the fire department, we can stay under budget, we pay them off, and then starting January 1st, we will have enough money in the budget to give everyone a $50 stipend. That would be ACO, CEO, Public Works Director, and Rec Director. And we will be right on budget. So,
Because if we don't do this, we're not gonna make budget.
no, we'll be over budget, so
Yeah.
that will work, but yeah, the stipends wouldn't start until January.
Right, well, the good thing is with the stipend. Our line item, which I would like to add that as an admin in the fixed portion of the admin budget. Because it makes no sense for Cliff to put it in his as a line item, Willie's ACO thing. We already know the deal, so let's just keep it simple. But
Yeah, it's already a line item there, so I won't mess around with anything, yeah.
So. Any questions?
No, so it's gonna be $50 one short deal or
$50 a month.
Oh, a month. Okay.
$50 a month stipend,
Yeah.
they use their own phone.
So you're shutting the 4 phones off now, or you're shutting the 4 phones off in December and starting everything in January?
We would shut the phone, no, we'd shut the phones off now. But we'd only have enough money to pay 6 month $50 stipend, so they wouldn't start until January 1st.
Very high. You good with that?
So,
You good with that?
Yeah.
And I did look into to see if the phones that we didn't have, we're getting rid of, if we could like trade them in for some type of credit towards this. And they said that the phones that we got do not hold their value, so there is no value in turning
Shoot
them
that
in.
phone.
But meanwhile, we still gotta pay for it.
Happen, take it back the next day, it's kind of after money.
Yeah, so we could probably sell them, that's what I was trying to think, if we could get more money towards the budget, if we got rid of those phones, but I guess we could sell them on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, but the guy said they're not worth anything.
I can tell you that.
He didn't tell us that.
Right.
So the only person we're actually lacking in making this decision is. So. I will afford him that opportunity.
So it's $50 a month times 4 for the 4 phones.
Correct.
$200 a month.
Yep.
Mhm.
They start in January 1st.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
So. Next week is department heads.
Yes.
Perfect. We will handle that.
Okay.
We will make the final decision on these cell phones next Tuesday.
Wrap it up.
Yes. That is heavily dented.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something on Tuesday, the 24th.
Yep, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but isn't that in the middle of your selectmen's meeting?
We're meeting with the planning board. It's an open,
Oh, okay, planning board's just giving you.
planning board's gonna be here at 6 o'clock. Yep.
All set.
Anybody else?
No, so thanks.
I'm good.
I got no stuff.
You didn't talk about getting money. You've been raking in money all week.
I have been raking money in all. Yes, a lot of late taxes have been paid. Couple of foreclosure risks. There were 49 and we're down to 42, so money is coming in.
Yeah.
We gonna be rich.
All right, nobody has anything, I'll make the motion, we adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Perfect. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Oh, good one. So we need to. We need to mention.